Good morning, everybody. Sign Prince Guy. Hello. Well, as no humans are interested in helping me, nobody's come here except my mother, which proves people can come here. So my next option is to turn to the reptilian for help. So that's what I'm doing. And I want to put a stop to our children getting kidnapped, by the space rat termite people, interdimensional, whoever these dirtbags are, and the hybrid minions that run the schools and the churches and the hospitals and Planned Parenthood and Child Protective Services and the ambulance companies and the police and the gangster people. They're all on the same team. They run the prisons. So all these people need to be dealt with, As obviously there's no human who wants to deal with these issues, because the churches are still open, the schools are still open, all this shit is still going on after I already told you to stop. So that means that you're not abiding by my request. So seeing as how y'all want to continue to disregard me, now I'm going to turn to the reptilians. So if you don't want to do what I ask, then I have to take care of the issue myself, And my people we don't have that kind of resources to accomplish all these things, Obviously, the mafia people, they're not interested in helping me either. So, what is exactly going to occur? Well, I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. All right? Let me give you a little example. What you're doing by not facing up to these issues and not doing anything about it is you're avoiding responsibility. That's what you're doing, okay? You're avoiding responsibility. You're running and hiding from the truth. So, what happens to people that avoid responsibility? Well, they end up in a worse situation in the end than they would have ended up if they would have faced up to responsibilities. Understand? Let me give you an example. What happens to a drug addict that continues to use drugs and does not take care of responsibility? Well, doesn't pay his light bill and spends his money on drugs. What happens? Electricity gets shut off. He doesn't pay his gas bill. What happened? And he doesn't put any oil in the oil tank. So guess what happens? Got no heat. He spends all his money on drugs. He doesn't buy any food and sells his food stamps. So guess what happens? He ain't got no food. He starves. Okay? So that's an analogy of what's going to happen to you. Instead of you adjusting these issues and closing down the schools and closing down the churches and closing down the hospitals and closing down Planned Parenthood and closing down child protective services because all they do is just. I already said what they do. I'm not gonna repeat myself. They're engaged in horrible things. Okay. So instead of doing all these things, you're gonna end up in a bad situation. Now, what is the bad situation you're gonna end up in? The bad situation you're gonna end up in is this. By me having to turn to reptilians, reptilians like to eat people. So what are they going to do? They're going to eat all the people. You understand? When I go around to close down the churches and address all these fucking dirtbags, they're going to eat all the people in the churches. You understand? When I go around to address the schools, the problem with the schools, they're going to eat all the people in the schools, including your children, which are most likely not your children. They're just clones of your children. But they might still be your children. Now, I don't know how you could tell if your child's been replaced, but I came up with one idea. If you're a mother and you had a child, you should be aware of some of your child's birthmarks and these certain markers, you know. You could tell your child to take his clothes off and look at him and check out the birthmarks that you know should be there. If they're not there, or there's something strange about your child, then maybe you have some inkling that that's not your child anymore. We know that the reptilian school lady came out and claimed that your children are not your children, that they belong to them, that they belong to the schools, that they belong to the community, which basically means they belong to them because they're not your children anymore. They're their children because they replaced your children. Okay, that's why she said that. All right. Now, I'm not being cold. I'm not trying to be cold or callous. I love children, even though love is a scorch. But if it wasn't a scorch, yes, I love children. And I care deeply for the children. That's why I want to address this issue. But the problem is, I can't control the reptilians, and they eat children, and they're going to eat your children. You know, so I'm just telling you what's going to happen. There's no way there's no way I'm going to be able to control them. You know, so they're going to eat the children in there. They're just going to eat the people, or kill them, or whatever they're going to do to them. I can't even be there. I mean, I could be there, but I'm gonna have to be in a vehicle that's protected, because when they feed, they lose their sense of composure, and they could eat me too. You know, not intentionally. They don't intentionally want to eat me, but they might just kill me because of their feeding frenzy. You understand? It's like a bee that releases a pheromone. They all go crazy. You know, same thing, basically. So, obviously, I'm probably going to be with them, but I'm going to have to be in a vehicle that's, protected, like with bars on the windows and shit like that, so they can't get at me, Until it's over, then I can cohabitate with them again, all right? But first of all, we're going to go to the down south locations. I already explained up north, down south to you. So we're going to go to the down south locations first, because otherwise I might be made a fool out of, because that's what they do. They use this up north, down south shit to make a fool out of you and to confuse you. So I'm not going to be made a fool out of. So what we're going to do is we're going to go around to the down south churches, the down south schools, the down south hospitals, down south locations, all these places, and see what's going on there. And then they'll probably eat the people there, and then I'll interrogate some of their people, and they'll probably be so fucking terrified that they'll tell me anything I want to know. So they're going to find out exactly what's going on at the up north locations. Okay, this is what needs to be done first. It doesn't matter if I reveal this, because the people are so arrogant and disgusting, and they think that they're so great and smart and that we're so stupid and they're making so much money that they're not going to stop what they're doing anyways. And they believe I'm a coconut and that no one's ever going to help me and that they can just continue on, doing whatever they're doing. So it doesn't matter if I reveal because they're not going to stop what they're doing anyways. Understand? They're involved with recycling of bodies and harvesting of organs and all this stuff. Okay. So I'll just tell you, your children are going to get eaten. Okay. Just telling you point blank, it's going to happen. That's not what I want to happen, but there's going to be no way for me to control it. You see, if humans came here and helped me and you guys wanted to be responsible and face up to these issues, then we could avoid all this. But obviously nobody wants to help me, so I have no choice. It's like sometimes people can't do it right. You gotta do it yourself if you want it done right. So that means I'm gonna have to do it, take care of this shit myself to get it done because nobody wants to do it. So then we got the issue of the clone bombs. So I was contemplating the issue of the clone bombs. The gang stalker people are aware of the clone bombs because they mentioned it to me. And of course, they don't explain anything. They just spurt out arrogant comments because they think you're so stupid and they're so smart that you're not going to catch on. But hey, you got to put some pieces of the puzzle together, They don't explain anything. They don't explain anything because they want you to, they're trying to provoke you into getting mad and reacting. That's their game. Okay. So we know that everything's related to our reality. So the person that decided to come up with suicide bomber people and suicide vests, okay, they got this idea from somewhere. You understand? The idea for a suicide bomber person, they came from somewhere, okay? Like I told you, some guy did not just sit in his garage one day, smoke a blunt, and just invent a television, okay? I told you. If you want to know your reality, just reverse engineer a television and relate it also to a radio and all this stuff, and then you have your reality, what your reality is, Okay? So now, I'm contemplating the issue of the clone bombs. What exactly is the deal? So, we know that they're taking our children to other dimensions and replacing them with clones or clone bombs. We know that if you go in the Bible, the story says they killed all the children. Then Iron Maiden wrote the song, Bring Your Daughter to the Slaughter. And there's all kinds of other stuff indicating that, yeah, it's true. So, now, what the gang stalker people mentioned to me was about the marrow that's in our bones. All right. Now, we know that the chemtrail scumbag people that fly the planes and the orbs, that pretend to be planes, that spray the chemicals on us, drop barium, selenium, aluminum, particles and fibers and nanobot things. Okay, so we know that the nanobot things that they release from the chemtrail planes or orbs flows down into our lungs and nestles in there and can give us plagues or viruses or manipulate our, all sorts of ways, do all kinds of things to us. Now we know that the nanobot things also work in conjunction with the towers of Babylon that surround you that you dum-dums believe are cell phone towers. Now there's also other things too. There's a couple other things that work like the towers, but I forgot what they're called, but there's other things besides the towers that are part of this system, Also, the stuff they spray in the air is also part of the system. The stuff they spraying in the air, the nestle stays up there, whatever, that's part of it. And it all works in conjunction. So now I came up with this idea that maybe we're all they found a way to make the marrow and all of our bones into an explosive substance. So basically, we're all bombs. You know, we're all clone bombs. We're all bombs. They send down the nanobots that float down into your lungs, and then that's how they're going to blow us up. Using the towers and the other two things they got there. I forgot what it's called. So that could be the case as well, you know, that we could actually all be bombs. You know, all of us. Every single person. So what are they doing? Well, they're creating like a mini matrix around inside the dome that is part of the system to turn you into more of a zombie person or a robot, or so you're more complacent and do whatever you're told, you know. So this is what's occurring. Now, we know that even President Obama, which I believe you're going to watch this, President Obama and Donald Trump, you do not have clearance to walk into the NSA office and go through the computers and interrogate those people. Okay, Jimmy Carter tried it, they shut him down. Nixon tried it, they shut him down. I tried it when I was JFK, they shut me down. Well, I'm still JFK, I'm just in another timeline. So you don't have clearance. So if you want to really, you know, get down to the nitty gritty and find out how these people are exploiting you and enslaving you and turning you into zombies, what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to go to the NSA office and just, you know, barge in there and just arrest all the people that work there or hold them in custody, and then just go through all their computers and interrogate those people and find out exactly what the fuck they're doing. And you have to do the same thing with NASA and any kind of intelligence agency, high intelligence agency where you don't have clearance. These people are just going to have to be taken into custody, and you're going to have to just go through those computers. And this is what I suggest you do immediately. Okay, some of these places are obviously going to be in vortexes. They're probably down south. You're probably going to have to go down south. You're going to have to go into vortexes. You know, the offices that are on the surface or wherever, those are probably just really dummy offices. They're probably the real sensitive information might not be in there. It might just be like a front, you know. But NASA's obviously a bunch of fucking scumbag liars, and they don't tell us the truth about anything. So you're going to have to go in there, into all the NASA places, and probably go down south NASA places. You're going to have to learn how to go down south, you people, you know, because that's where all the secrets are and all the sensitive information most likely is, you know. When the gang stalker, treacherous tramp, crack queen took me to the hospital down south, the ambulance people pulled up. Okay, they got, in the hospitals down south, they got elevators that take the people down into the fake hell place, vortex places. And they brought someone, she showed me. She called, well, this is what happened. I'm going to tell you this little story. Okay, I didn't know I was down south this time. I didn't understand about all this at the time. You know, I didn't even know who I was then. So she took me to down south hospital. And we pulled up where the ambulance pulled up. And she says, go in there. There's a room with, it's just a room, and you got two guys standing there in white suits and an elevator. That's all that's in there. And what happens? Well, the ambulance people bring the people in there, put them in the elevator, and bring them down to the fake hell place. Okay, this is what happens. So I went in. She said, go in there and tell the guys that I said hello. Of course, I didn't know any of this at the time. So I walked in there. They looked at me. And I said, well, Marcel said that she wanted to say hello. And I said, so. Of course, that's not her name. So they, you know, were confused because she's a liar, a piece of fucking dirtbag, scumbag. So everything she says is a lie. So that's not really true. She did tell me some true shit, but she's basically like the world's biggest fucking dirtbag. So she told me go in there. So I went in there. I seen the elevator. I seen two guys standing there. And then she called them and said, scare him and grab him, whatever. And this happened to me too. And when I went to the old folks home where my grandfather lived, when I went down into the cave and all that, I told you that story. So they grabbed me, but they, then she said, no, don't bring him down the elevator because she was trying to steal some money from me. That's why they didn't want me to go down south. They brought me there, but I was hypnotized and I'm not supposed to remember, but I remember, but whatever. So, you go down there, it's like a cave place and everybody's naked. No one's allowed to have clothes and the police and the ambulance people bring people there, whatever. I already told you about all that. Okay, so this is a down south hospital, so this is what they do. The ambulance people take the people down south, that probably people that are not going to be missed, like homeless people, vagrant people, whatever, or I don't know, murder all their family and then just take the people or whatever they do. So they bring the people there, and then they put them in the elevator and they bring them down. So what happened was, what I'm trying to tell you is that, so when we were pulling away, she called the ambulance people and she told Mason. And so they had the poor person in the stretcher like this, and the ambulance guy went and he squirted mace right in their eye, and the person's like, ah, and then they brought him in the elevator. And she said, "See the power I got?" That's what she told me. See my power? People do whatever I say. And she said, "You got the power too." She told me, "I got the power too." But of course, I don't have any power because I'm totally disregarded and fucked over. That's like I'm rich but I'm poor because everything belongs to me, but nothing belongs to me because nobody knows who I am. Yeah. So it could be possible that we're all bombs and that they figured out a way to explode the marrow inside of our bones. A possibility. So I'm just telling you, this is my plan. Now, I don't care about telling you my plan because the people are so disgusting and they believe I'm a coconut and that no one's ever going to help me and they're just going to continue doing what they're doing anyways. So it doesn't matter if I say what I'm going to do because they believe it's never going to happen. But I believe it's going to happen because I got some communication from reptilians already. Okay, so they know what I want. So, we know that all these people that are making these ascension messages, okay, most of the people are not people. They're just created out. It's a computer algorithm that creates these identities of imaginary people, imaginary ascended master, made up identity algorithm computer. That's all it is, really. There might be a few people that are actually people, but, and if you look at the channel people, those people are all holograms, and behind them is all fake screens. Okay, so it's fake, not real. Well, it's really nothing real because we're all in a computer simulation. Everything you see that I didn't create this. This is a hijacked version of my creation. You're imprisoned by the Pleiadian people, or whoever imprisoned us. And when they blew us up on Mars and then consumed all our souls and put us here in this prison, which is a replication of what I created. It's not what I created. It's a replication. You understand? That's why nothing's real. It's only real because you believe it's real. It's not really real. So this, I figured I might as well come out and tell you what's going to happen, because so now I want you to address these issues yourself, so this doesn't have to get to this point. But like I say, if you keep shirking this responsibility and keep refusing to face these issues, then you're going to end up in a bad situation. Obviously, I don't want any children harmed, and I already said that in one of my posts that if the people are found to be clone bombs, that hopefully, we could, they could be transferred, their spirits can be transferred into another clone body or a collective consciousness until they can be reincarnated, and done in a safe and humane manner. That's what I want to do. I don't want any children to get eaten by reptilians, of course not. But you keep shirking the responsibility, that's going to happen because I'm not going to stand for this and continue to let this go on. If it has to end in a bloodbath to stop it, then that's what's going to happen. But just know that's your fault because you refuse to accept my guidance and request. You know, it's your fault, not my fault. It's your fault. It's going to be your fault. Everything's my fault because I'm the boss. But still, you know, people are supposed to accept responsibility for their actions. You know, obviously, not too many people want to accept responsibility for their actions. You know. I'm already accepting responsibility for what's going to happen. That's why I'm telling you right now what's going to happen, so you know that your children are going to be eaten by reptilians. I'm telling you right now, point blank to your face. So you can either close down the schools and then go down south and investigate. First of all, you got to go to the down south locations. Investigate what's going on there. Close the locations down. Take all those people into custody and interrogate them, and then return all the children to somewhere safe. That's what you have to do first. You can't go to the up north locations first because you don't know exactly what's going on there, you know. Okay, the teachers do not have to take the children in the woods to a dimensional doorway, okay? They have technology that's millions of years ahead of what you know. So they could just call Johnny to the office and Johnny's walking down the hallway and then all of a sudden Johnny disappears. Okay, now there's no such thing as time, it doesn't exist. So they take Johnny and then replace him with a clone, and basically almost no time has passed, and then now Johnny's keep walking down the hallway, but it's not Johnny anymore, it's a clone of Johnny. You understand? Well, there you go. You know, I laid it out for you. That's what's going to happen. There's going to be no way for me to control the reptilians. They're going to eat the people. They're going to eat them. They're going to eat all the police. They're going to, when I go around to the prisons to release all the prisoners and everything, they probably going to eat some prisoners, and they probably going to eat all the guards and everybody. They're going to eat all those people. You know. I'm gonna tell them don't eat any prisoners, but like I said, I'm not gonna be able. I'm only gonna be able to control them so much, you know. I didn't want things to get to this point, but nobody wants to help me. Everybody wants to continue to disregard me. So I'm saddened that it's come to this, but that's what it's coming to. You know, you can't blame everything on reptilians, okay? The same people that claim that they're here for our benefit are up in the sky. Their ships are pretending to be clouds, and the orbs fly by and drop massive amounts of poison on us. And these cloud ship Pleiadian people, whoever these people are, they don't do anything about the towers. They don't do anything about the orbs. They just sit there and watch the orb go by and drop massive amounts of poison on us and nanobot things and everything. They don't do anything about it because obviously they're on the same team. So they're not here for our benefit. They're here to lord over us in a more sophisticated way. They want to be the new Illuminati, the new Jesuit order. They want to just take over everything and then just finish us off for good or whatever. But they don't really want to finish off because we're their human resource, so they want to like exploit us as like in a more sophisticated manner, really. You know. The only reason they're putting out the good ascension information is because their minions that run the churches, the schools, and the hospitals have become somewhat zombified themselves, you know, and they become somewhat lost. So they're trying to get these people to get their spirits acclimated to be transferred, soul transfer. It's about soul transfer to, you know, their ships or their new, you know, realms that they created or whatever, you know, new earth they created. That's why. They're not doing it for us. They're doing it for their minions because they want their minions to be able to escape before the planets wipe everybody out, you know. That's why they're doing it. They're not doing it for our benefit. They care about us just to exploit us. They don't really actually care about us like they care for us. They care for us like a farmer cares for his corn, you know. That's how they care for us. Well, I'll let you go. But I just want to put that out there. You know, you could address the issues yourself and then maybe avoid all this. But if you don't, What happens to a drug addict? Well, his lights get shut off.